Hello, everybody. This is Brendan Dutzner. Welcome to Bad Grammar. I'm recording today from lovely Island Lake, Illinois, and I'm very happy to be here with Mr. Josh Teach. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Brendan.
All right, very sharp. I know Josh originally from Twilight Tales, which is a lovely reading series in the city that was discontinued for a while and is going again now. And I also know him because we were in an anthology together. Book of Dead Things, Twilight Tales, which I think you can still get on Amazon. And I'm just going to try to think real quickly everything I know about Josh. He's was living in Norway for a little bit, and just got back. And I think all that, yeah, this is that's the main thing that comes to mind right now. He's a globetrotter. He's hopping around. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What's going on?
Well, after graduating from grad school, I had a master's. I didn't know what to do with it. I owed a lot of money for it. I was just kind of squeaking by on odd jobs. And one day I got it into my head that video games make a lot of money, so they could probably afford to actually pay their authors, not just say, hey, you'll get exposure. So I just went to Wikipedia, looked up video game companies, just spent the next 2 weeks going through 100, maybe a few hundred websites, just looking for companies that were looking for a writer or that just said, send us in a resume regardless. We could always use more. And I just kind of prioritized a list, sent out writing samples and a resume, and then that resume kind of got honed over dozens of submissions, and my life at this point kind of allows me to jump from place to place. So I thought I'd use that to my advantage, and I applied to places all over the world. And Funcom in Oslo, Norway, responded.
And they have you working for the Ages of Conan massively multiplayer online game, right?
That's right.
Okay. So, and what kind of stuff are you doing for them?
I was working on the expansion, Rise of the Godslayer, and I wrote mostly dialogue, a little bit of story, and some other writing tasks. But yeah, I mostly was in charge of writing dialogue. Eventually, by the end of the project, they put me in the credits as lead writer because I did kind of the lion's share of the writing, I guess, for it. And it was a good experience overall. They liked what I was doing. I was enjoying getting paid full time to write.
That's very nice. That's not too bad.
Yeah, got to see a new city, and now I'm back in the U.S. for a few weeks on vacation, and then I'm going to Funcom's new office in Montreal in a few weeks, actually.
Wow. Okay. And just another kind of writing relating stuff. I know that you have something coming out with White Wolf at some point. Is that any?
Yes.
Can we talk about that even?
Yeah. I think about 4 years ago, White Wolf had a novel contest. They had several phases, and it took a while because it involved writing novels. And I got down to the finalists, and then there were 5 finalists. We each wrote a first draft of our proposed novels that had made it that far, and I got picked out of that for the grand prize. And I've been working on and off with an editor through White Wolf for the last few years, just kind of touch and go, kind of going through drafts. And White Wolf hasn't done any fiction in a while, but I think they figured out how they want to market that.
Yeah, just for people that don't know, White Wolf, they mostly have done role playing games in the past. They did, if you see the kid with the big vampire, the Masquerade T-shirt, that's one of their, that's one of theirs. They've done different, but hopefully at some point they're going to be putting out, which I've heard. I've just read little snippets of it that you've read to me, but it's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to being able to get that.
I actually know now what the plan is. I'm not allowed to say it until Gen Con.
Okay.
By the time this is broadcast.
Are you going to be at Gen Con?
I will be at Gen Con.
Okay.
And it will be announced there, but it will be available very soon. And the novel's called Strangeness in the Proportion.
Okay. If people want to come bug you at Gen Con, where can they find you? Do you know yet where you'll be? Or?
I will be wandering around, but I will have a black fedora on with a little skull and crossbones pin. That's usually the best way to spot me.
Okay. All right. Very sharp, man. What do you got for us today?
Today I have a series of Twitter fiction. It's something I've been experimenting with lately. Over the last year, I've kind of gotten addicted to it. Some people think Twitter is the greatest thing ever. Some people think it's the fall of written communication. I wanted to see what it was all about and see what could be produced with it. And a lot of people seem to be producing some fiction. And I wanted to see if that was possible because short stories is my favorite form of writing, and flash fiction I've always been interested in how quickly you get a story told. going all the way maybe to one of the more famous super short bits of flash fiction was Hemingway's 6-word story, For Sale, Baby Shoes.
Never Worn.
Never Worn.
Yeah.
And that and that kind of gets to the principle of what you do with the Twitter fiction. It's an economy of words. It's trying to really, you're implying a story more than telling it. You're showing maybe an after effect, or what could you do with that few words. And I think it's just a good exercise in general, because economy of words is just good in any form of writing. It helps you cut the fat away. And it's a good way to store ideas. If I get an idea in my head, and
so anything that's really good, you can just expand it later.
Exactly. And I do that anyway. I mean, a lot of us do that. We'll write down an idea. We'll have a cool idea. We'll write it down, and we save it. Writing it as a little mini story is almost kind of like if we're gonna put it to the metaphor of like planting a seed. If we just wrote down the idea, we'd be planting it in some dirt and hope something grew later. Writing it, I think, in the form of a story is almost like planting it with some special fertilizer in it, because when I go back and read it, it already has some forward momentum going. I already see how it might work.
Yeah, and because you can get through so many of them, and you can really go back and get the choice. Yeah, the choice stuff. Although I'm sure everything we got right now is choice, but yeah. And
I've been noticing there's some markets opening up, different websites or online.
Okay. Have you had any luck getting any of these placed yet?
I've had some read on the Drabblecast.
Drabblecast. Okay.
Yes. I think you can go to drabblecast.com or just look up Drabblecast on Google
or on iTunes or any of that. Yeah, any of that stuff.
Very fun, weird flash fiction podcast. Very very hilarious host, and very active community on the forum. They produce a lot of content just for kicks, and the Twitter fiction is one of those things.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll take it away, man. What do you got?
All right. No particular order. Little dead Wolfhead Hood walks to Grandma's house, stained axe in hand. Nobody calls her by her old name. Not anymore. Dollheads bounce in his dreads. He cocks the hammer, demands the secret to happiness. Don't read the YouTube comments, I say, ever. Once, I built a flesh golem out of grave-robbed parts and uneaten Halloween candy. By strange chance, this golem is fueled on rejection slips. Every day it begs and pleads, "Please, kind sir, keep me alive." Lose a hand? I ask the amputee with the gecko tats. The Michigan Avenue underground sighs. No, she says, found one. Zombie Cletus licked the gore from the industrial fan, unaware he'd soon be the only being to win the Darwin Award twice. Clutching flowers and Hallmark card, Oedipus fingered empty ocular cavities in the blind dark. Worst holiday ever. And this Twitter fiction has a title, Purple Unorthodox. He holds out a choice, 2 pills, red and blue. Watching myself in his shades, I swallow both, then I blow all their minds. The hour got late, and later still. So, truth time, said the thief to the Joker. There's no fucking way out of here. Don't worry, where you hang your head is home, said the hungry crow to the thief dangling from the jingle branch of the hanging tree. They gather once a year at the pumpkin patch, pick goblins in embryo, trade grimoire recipes and gourd-hatching tips, then fly away. Used to work the chair, couldn't no more. Their eyes, it's not that the guilty got punished, you understand, but how desperate the innocent are to kill. Have to go or I'll turn into a pumpkin, she said. We laughed, made out. Then she cried, rolling down the hill, leaving me alone, again. You cooked? She asked. Where's Fifi? No barking. Aren't you having any? I just smile and watch her eat. I really hated that dog. We danced on the wind, me and the girl in the indigo dress, content, forever, no words, just swayed from a tree on pendulous nooses. You can still hear it nightly. In the flat over the arcade, a dwarf plays sad plastic kazoo nocturnes to a crumpled photo of her. Afraid? Asks the stranger. No, smiles the boy. Statistically, I'm more likely to be murdered by someone I know. The stranger backs away, slowly. Wanted a prince, kissed a frog, transformation, consummation. I can feel our 1,000 young grow under the mucus slick of my new body. Kicked out for not choosing sides, he wanders hospitals, watches kids flatline to catch a glimpse of home as it opens for their tiny souls. I met Jane D. at work. She tells me who hurt her. Her hand tightens around mine. She smiles. This is love. This is rigor mortis. Dream time over snake bones, lights, truck stops. I offered a drag. He passed, said there were ghosts in the smoke. They were gaining on us. As Secret Santa, she'd get gifts she could break down into 7 pieces to be given throughout the week. Last year, she gave me a hamster. This is eternity? I ask. Yes, grins the patchwork roadkill thing, reading self-indulgent suicide notes like the one you wrote. What's in the box? Gwyneth Paltrow's severed head, I reply. We laugh. I pay for gas, drive off. That wasn't funny, says the box. The night owl ate the early bird. The worm celebrated with a dance macabre atop the drying owl pellet with a newfound hunger for life. Emote, cold text, webcam, wooing shadows, $14.95 a month. Carpal tunnel is a lonely STD, and love is a cemetery where he buries his seed. Dying, he sold his soul to buy protection for his infant. She coos, suckling on my claw. I smile, not sure who conned whom. Venereal, 100% lethal, palpitation, pain, the tyranny of a sex drive. The living apocalypse had come to the zombie kingdom. They moaned. 10,000 years from now, they'll come in with cameras, find me mummified, clutching my television, waiting for reality TV to die. Awake, mangled body next to me, moved in my sleep. Again, it's called parasomnia. Phone rings, commissioner. Super strength works better in comics. Doc says I can shrink, but not foreign objects. Huh? Then my lunch burrito ruptures my tiny body. Superpowers work better in comics. I once gave a cannibal a severed arm, and I fed him for a day. Later, I gave that same cannibal a meat cleaver, and I fed him for life. I aim the camera at the staked corpse. They say I'm crazy, but she'll be ash any second. I'll have proof any second. Now? When does it happen? I asked. Every day, hissed the blind crone. The apocalypse comes whenever the thing that dreamt you wakes up. You don't know what it is to have... Oh, try that again. You don't know what it is having monthly cycles of blood and rage, Sarah yelled. Oh, I do, Larry howled as the change overtook him. You look so familiar, I say. Yeah, you've been screwing my wife, says my new dentist, holding something sharp. The sedatives take hold. Be not afraid. Its wings unfurl. Father Santiago vomits blood at the sight. He knows now why angels always say that. Single white baby seeking good shoes. That asshole Hemingway stole mine.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh. It's very cool. All right. So if you're interested in hearing more of Josh's work, you can check out the Age of Conan game. And
That's right.
And where do they go to get a hold of that?
I believe you can go to ageofconan.com or just Google Age of Conan. You can order it online. It's from Funcom, and The Rise of the Godslayers, the new expansion to that. That's where most of my writing is.
Okay, and you got the White Wolf thing coming up, and I just realized pretty much as I'm talking about this that this is not actually likely to go up before Gen Con, but that means that by the time that it is up, if you head on over to whitewolf.com, you should be able to find out about Strangest in the
That's
Proportion. Right. There's still Book of Dead things available on Amazon, and
right.
am I missing anything else, man, that has got your name on it? People should know.
Not really. Just those are the big ones right now.
Okay, all right. Well, thanks so much for coming out, man. I really appreciate it. It's good stuff.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Bad Grammar is released according to a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial 3.0 Unported license. You can get the new Bad Grammar at iTunes and in the Listen section of Brendan Dessner Online the first week of every month. If you'd like to support Bad Grammar, thank you very much. We're good, but we would encourage you, if you're feeling generous, to go ahead and check out www.protect.org to learn more about a cause that we wholeheartedly support. Our theme music is lovingly provided to us by the Gotsicles. You can find out more about the Gotsicles over at www.gotsicles.com. And that is it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you here next month.